I grew up going to different international schools in Saudi Arabia, where I was surrounded by various languages, beautiful cultures, and interesting religions that I absolutely loved learning about. Saudi is really different from here. For example, we had sand instead of snow, desert camping instead of winter camping, and camel crossings instead of moose crossings. Moving from Saudi Arabia to Canada was a huge life-changing experience for me. For starters, I'd never been to Canada before. All I really knew was that there was a lot of maple syrup and that Drake ran through the six with his woes. I found my first few weeks at Appleby in grade 10 extremely difficult. Even though I spoke English fluently, I didn't know anyone at all and found that there were a lot of cultural differences. For example, I didn't know what wheeling, ways, chirping, or beef meant until around a month after school started, so you can imagine how confused I was when they kept being used. I also didn't know anything about clubs or co-curriculars, other than the fact that they were mandatory. I had no idea who was in my grade and who wasn't, and the concept of 2 lunch periods baffled me. I was hoping to get an introduction in some of my classes so that people would know me, but that didn't really happen. I awkwardly picked the last empty seat in each of my classes, and we got right into the course material. I was overwhelmed, lost, and confused, but a few acts of kindness from people who were strangers to me at the time made the world of a difference to me. A student that I didn't know very well invited me out to the works for dinner with a bunch of other people in my grade, and I can honestly say that all of the people who were at that dinner are now a few of my closest friends. This experience reminded me to always be kind. In the famous words of Aesop, no act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. Sit with someone who's sitting alone in the dining hall. Help someone who doesn't understand a question the night before a big test. Or talk to a new student who looks lost and confused on the first day of school. Although small acts, all of these can make a huge difference in someone's life. Although the first few weeks were tough, I found my way at Appleby a few months into the school year and absolutely loved it. In my grade 11 year, I decided to get as involved as possible and really push myself with being a JOL, Speak mentor, member of Camp Vista, student ambassador, and member of 2 varsity athletic teams, all while trying to achieve an average in the mid-90s. Throughout the second half of the year, I would get really bad chest pain. I wouldn't be able to breathe or move for a short period of time, and then it would suddenly go away. I thought nothing of it. It wasn't a big deal. Plus, I had to study for the SATs and upcoming exams. During my French exam, I was extremely restless and couldn't sit still in my seat. I felt claustrophobic even though we were riding in an almost empty arena. That night, I was reviewing for my functions exam and felt like I couldn't breathe. It was a weird feeling that I'd never really felt before, so I decided to go to bed early. When I woke up the next morning, I still felt uneasy, but decided to go to school anyways. As I walked towards the arena, it started to get worse, and I got even worse chest pain that lasted for longer periods of time, so I took a detour to the health center. A few minutes after getting there, I had a panic attack, and it was honestly one of the scariest feelings. I couldn't control anything, couldn't breathe properly, and couldn't stop crying, even though there was no logical reason for any of it to be happening. I had ignored all of the signs, and there I was, writing my functions exam when I could barely breathe properly. I wasn't kind to myself. I over-criticized myself, set unrealistic goals, and pushed myself way past my limit. The challenges I faced to find a healthy balance taught me the importance of being kind to myself. To all of the grade 9s here, get involved and strive to achieve the most you can, but put your happiness and well-being first. To all of the grade 12s, this is the home stretch. As we all go our separate ways after graduation, keep this quote in mind. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. No matter where you go or what you do, if you are kind to yourself and others, you'll do great. My grade 12 year started off awesome. Boarding with my best friends has been great, and having spares is like a gift from God himself. However, I got a concussion playing basketball a few weeks before winter break. It happened right before university applications, so I was pretty stressed out. I was frustrated that I had to miss school and academic week because it was a chance for me to raise my average. In the long run, missing those few weeks of school wasn't a big deal. And as weird as this sounds, I can honestly say that it was the best thing that's ever happened to me. Since I had absolutely nothing to do, I decided to download a meditation app and see what all the mindfulness hype was about. Now, for those of you who don't know me that well, I was the kind of person that would laugh at people that meditated. I didn't believe in it at all. After I got over how cheesy the voice in the app was, I learned how to meditate for up to 30 minutes at a time and began to discover myself. Now, by that, I don't mean I instantly figured out what I want to do for my entire life, and I had everything sorted out. I mean that I learned to listen to my body, to what my body was telling me, and to take a break when I needed one. When all the stuff that keeps you busy is taken away from you, as it is when you're concussed, it's really overwhelming. It's like, I have all of this time and I don't know what to do with it. We're so used to constantly doing things in order to be the best and to be successful that we often lose sight of what's really important, like our happiness, being true to ourselves, and our relationships with the people closest to us. Now, I'm not saying, go get concussed and you'll be happy. I'm just saying that it's important to take time out of the day to be kind to yourself. Okay, now I'm gonna do a quick activity with you guys. Can you all close your eyes? Take a deep breath. Now think of 2 things that you really like about yourself. It could be that you're a great athlete, an awesome singer, or just a really hard worker. Keeping your eyes closed, repeat after me. Great job, self. You're pretty awesome. Great job, self. You're pretty awesome. Okay, you can open your eyes now. Congratulations. You've all officially been kinder to yourself than you may have been on a regular day. You are your own harshest critic. So as the Buddha once said, you yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. So surround yourself with people that are kind to you and others. Now, I obviously didn't learn all of this by myself. My mom's constant encouragement, even if I got a 60 on a test, taught me that it's okay to make mistakes. It's how you deal with it that matters. My dad taught me the importance of being selfless when giving to others. He always says, the more you give, the more you receive. By being herself and saying weird things all the time, my sister taught me the importance of being true to myself. My friends have been there for me through thick and thin. From buying me ice cream when I've had a rough week, to sending me cute cat videos and weird BuzzFeed links. Your acts of kindness have made all of the stresses of high school seem a lot easier to handle. And finally, to the Appleby community. The care and compassion that I've seen at the school is something that I'll never forget. From all of the awesome fundraisers to celebrating all of the hard work and talent with enthusiasm, you all deserve to be recognized for your role in making Appleby so great. I've been lucky to have been surrounded by such kind individuals. If you zoned out a little, no worries. If there's one thing you take away from this speech, it's to be kind to yourself and others. Treat everyone the way you would want to be treated, and once you do that, everything will fall into place. In the famous words of talk show host and my idol, Ellen DeGeneres, be kind to one another. It's that simple. Now will you all please rise and sing hymn number 416.